Good morning, everyone. So today is Monday, March 30th. We're almost at the end of the month here. We have for today for math the worksheets labeled using rates mental math. So if you guys want to take a moment, put the video on pause. I'll wait for you. You get your math things. There should be a corresponding worksheet that goes with it too. It was the make a chart table worksheet that I gave, and then the worksheet for today. So go ahead and put the video on pause and grab your stuff. Make sure you grab a writing utensil. All right, so hopefully you have everything that you need. First off, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody rested up and, stayed safe out there. So today, remember when we were last together, we were working a lot with making tables, and you guys were doing really good with the patterns and figuring out, well, wait, they multiplied by 2, they multiplied by 3, okay? So I want you to think about that for today and to get you through today's. So let's look at the first paper here that I gave you with using a table to find unit rates. It says make a table or chart. So they give an example here. A punch recipe makes 5 cups of punch by mixing 3 cups of cranberry juice with 2 cups of apple juice. How much cranberry juice and apple juice do you need to make 4 times the original recipe? Okay, so again, method 1 is using the table, okay, which is what we're most familiar with. So I'm going to go ahead. I actually got batteries now for my pen. Not that I can really draw a straight line still, but it's all good. Make a table here. And we're just going to use abbreviations. We have CJ for cranberry juice. And I'm going to use AJ for apple juice, just to keep it simple, okay? So again, we know, all right, that a recipe makes 5 cups, okay, so that's one recipe for 3 cups of cranberry juice for every 2 cups of apple juice, okay? So we want to know, again, how much cranberry juice and apple juice do you need to make 4 times that amount? All right. So we would have to think 4 times that amount. So I want the next one would be for 6 cups of cranberry juice. We would need 4 cups of apple juice. Okay. Because I'm thinking here, okay, we have 2 times our original 3. I'm doubling it. And the same thing here. I would have 2 times our original 2. Okay, so for the next set, I'm going to have 9 to 6. Because my next one is, I'm tripling it. It's my third set. So 3 times my original 3. And again, I'm tripling it here. So it's going to be 3 times my original 2. Okay. Now I'm going to quadruple it. This will be times 4. So if I do 4 times my original 3, that's going to be 12. Okay. Then down here, again, I'm going to do 4 times my original 2 cups. So I'm going to need 8 cups of apple juice. Okay. Then I'm going to take it up one more. I know I made the table a little bigger, but that's okay. So I'm going to do 5 times the original recipe to give me 15. And then again, 5 times the original recipe for apple juice, which would be our 10. Yeah, okay. So we see here We want to know how much cranberry juice and apple juice do you need to make 4 times the original recipe. Think about where I quadrupled it, did by 4. Okay, that would be right here in this column that I'm circling in red. Okay, so that's 4 times that, because that was our common number that we multiplied by. It was our 4th time increasing the recipe. Okay, so I want you to think about unit rates when doing this. All right, so on the practice worksheets here, don't worry about the mental math part of it. Okay, you can use a calculator, that is fine. We want to find the unit rates and write the answer as a fraction. Now remember, unit is, what's a unit? A unit means 1 or a single. 1 single, a unit. So that's all we're thinking here. Okay. So let's look at the the first example that's done for us, and then we'll do like 1 or 2 together. Okay. So let me get a clean page here. All right. So we have 180 kilometers, that's km, kilometers, or kilometers, also known as, in 3 hours. We want to know what the unit rate is, okay, for 1 hour. We know that we can, drive, ride our bike, whatever it is, 180 kilometers in 3 hours. But how much for 1 hour? So I'm thinking division, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do the long division. So I can't put 3 into 1, but I can put 3 into 18, because I know 3 times 6 is 18. Remainder 0, bring down my 0. Okay, I still have to put that in because I need something up here. I got to finish that off. So 3 goes into 0, 0. All right, 0, so no remainder. So my unit rate is 60, okay? So it'd be 60 to 1, all right? So basically it's 60 minutes, or 60 kilometers in 1 hour, okay? Because again, we want to keep that format. This is our kilometers, this is our hours, okay? So it'd be 60 kilometers to 1 hour. Okay, let's do another one together here. I'm going to go pick, let's do one, with the money. I'm going to do 13. Yeah, I'll do that because of my lucky number. Okay. You guys know I'm not superstitious. All right. So we got $91. $91 for 13 days. Okay. So let's say I give you $91 and you have to live off of that for 13 days. You want to find out what is the unit rate? How much can you spend per day? Is the whole point of this one. All right. So again, division. Every time I'm thinking unit rate, I want to think of division. 13 and a 91. Well, I have some side math to do here. I'm not going to do it with the calculator, so I'm going to show you guys that you can do it without. So I'm going to start off with 4. Okay, I'm just going to pick a random number here. So that's 12, 4, 52. Too small. So 13 times 7. 2, oh, look, 91. So I know that goes in there evenly 7 times. So it would be $7 per 1 day. And that's what your answer should look like. This right here, I'll circle it in red. Your answer should be this. $7, excuse my funky dollar sign there, $7 for 1 day, okay? So that's all you're doing for that top part, all right? Where underneath it says solve. Again, don't worry about the mental math, okay? You may write it out. You don't have to do anything in your head. You're doing the same thing. 230 miles using 10 gallons. How many miles in 1 gallon? It's okay. So you're just doing the same thing. You're dividing there. All right. Let's do 15 together, because 15 gives you the unit rate. Okay. Go to a clean page again. So we have 18. One second. There we go. 18 miles to 1 gallon. Okay, now I'm going to write it as a proportion. Okay, or as a ratio. I'm sorry, as a ratio. We didn't get into proportions yet. Although proportions and ratios are basically the same thing. How many miles for 6 gallons? So I want to think, how many for 6 gallons? So I want to make an equivalent, that we've used, an equivalent ratio for 6 gallons, okay? So this one here might be helpful to use the table, all right? So we'll make a little table. All right, we have miles, and we have gallons. All right, so I know I have 18 per 1. So I want to fill these in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So you may want to get a calculator here, because this has got a little bit more side math here to do. So I'm just going to grab my calculator real quick. So I'm going to think, all right, so if I have 18 for 1, what's 2 going to be? 18 times 2, 36. And then 18 times 3, 54. And then 18 times 4, 72. 18 times, oops, not 15, 18 times 5, 90. And then 18 times 6, 108. So I could go 108 miles, okay, with 6 gallons. Okay. Another way, and actually I showed you briefly, you guys, this in the classroom before all the craziness started. It was like a real quick blib at the end of the lesson one day when I had it set up like this as a fraction. And I had said, okay, now remember, we were looking for, this was our answer here. So you imagine that's not there, okay? So I had said the algebra way of doing this without making the table, all right, I'm going to jump the gun here just a little bit, is to cross multiply your two numbers. So you would cross multiply these two. Let's switch to, all right, so that would be 18 times 6, which happens to be 108. But then I would divide by this number. So this number I would divide by, because it's across from the unknown. So technically it would be 108 divided by 1, but anything divided by 1 we know is 108. So that's another way to come up with this instead of making a table. All right. So if you want to try out that way, that's fine. All right. Just think, I'm going to cross multiply my two numbers that I know that are there, okay? So the 18 and the 6, they're there. They're across from each other, all right? So cross multiply here and then divide by my denominator of my first fraction, all right? So you could try that, or like I said, you can just do the table. That's the way we were taught. I really did not get into that other method with you guys just yet, all right? So that is for the 14 to 23. That's how you're going to handle all of those, all right? On 24 to 27, I will just read them to you guys, but you're basically doing the same thing. You're finding the unit rates. So I'm just going to take a few moments, read each one. Remember, you can always pause the video if you want to, work it out after I get done reading it before you go on to the next. So 24 says, Marianne went to a bookstore and spent $16.80 on 5 paperbacks, meaning books. How much did she spend on each paperback? Okay, so she bought 5 at $16.80. We want to know how much she spent on each, on one. Okay, that was 24. Number 25. Again, pause the video because I'm just going to read through them. The cost of a book club membership at a bookstore is $5 for 2 years. How much would it cost for a 5-year membership? So we know it's 5 for 2, all right? But you want to know how much it would cost for 5 years. 26. If Marianne spends about $144 on books each year, how much does she spend in 5 months? So you know for a year, 12 months, she spends about $144. But we want to know how much she spends in 5 months. Okay? And the last problem. If Marianne joins the book club, she will be able to buy 5 books for the price of 3. How much would it cost her for 15 books in terms of books? Okay, so we know we're not looking for a solid price here. All right, we know that she can buy 5 books for the price of 3, so she's getting a bargain. Okay, we want to know how much would it cost her for 15 books. Okay, so obviously there's a discount. So how many books basically is she physically buying for, but is coming home with 15 books. All right. That last one is a little tricky, but, try it out. Make a table. All right. Make a table. Think 5 for 3. Okay. Or you can use the format on my top of my last slide here that we're still looking at. All right. And then we want to know how much she bought for 15. All right, guys, so hopefully that helped you out some. If you have any questions, though, please let me know. You can always email me. You can always leave comments on the YouTube video, and I can get back to you guys either, I can call you or I can reply if it's something simple. All right? I hope you guys have a good day and stay on top of your week 2, day 4 assignments. Talk to you guys later.